So this question is about how can you simplify sine of pi minus x. Okay. Now, they didn't say anything about whether x needs to be an acute angle.
Right.
But let's just for now, let's say x is an acute angle. So x is between 0 to pi over 2 degrees. Okay. So then I can draw my figure, the circle. Oops. Okay, and then if my x is acute, I can do this. I can say my line must be somewhere around here because pi is the second quadrant, right? So if this was x, an acute angle, this must be pi minus x. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Now, so the actual ratio of sine pi minus x looks like this. It's this length right here. So right now what I'm saying is that blue length is actually equal to sine pi minus x, okay? But we can generate the same blue length, right? Here, like this. Right? So I get that length will be the exact same length.
Yeah.
So let me call this theta. This will be the sine of theta. So I can actually say sine of pi minus x is equal to sine of theta. But what is that theta? The theta is the same thing as this x. So we can simplify sine pi minus x.
Yeah. It got darkened.
Yeah, sx. Okay.
So
Sine pi minus x is equal to sine of x when x is between 0 to pi over 2. Now this actually, so to explain to you, I narrowed this down, okay? But it doesn't have to be acute. So let's suppose it's an obtuse angle, okay? Let's say x is an obtuse angle. So x will look something like this. Obtuse. So let's say that's x, okay? This right here is x. Then what would pi minus x look like? Which quadrant would it be in? So that's the angle x. Okay. Oops. So that's pi, right? If you subtract angle x, wouldn't we be right here?
Sure.
Look, I went all the way to pi, and I gotta subtract that obtuse angle. So we'll come back to the first quadrant. Do you see that? Don't they have the same height still?
Yep.
So look, this is still true, even though x is not acute angle. And we can do this for obtuse angle, reflex angle. It'll all work. Okay, but I'm not gonna go into it doing every single possible angle. Okay, so do you believe that?
Yeah.
So this is like a property of sine. If you have a sine of 180 minus x or pi minus x, it's just equivalent to sine of x. And you don't need to think about what x is. Just always think about x as an acute angle.
Because it's not positive in the second quadrant for.
Yeah, cosine of pi minus x will be actually a negative value, right?
Yeah.
So compared to this value right here, it's going to be the same length but opposite in size. So it's going to be equal to minus cosine of x. And the pattern continues. Tangent of pi minus x is going to be also minus tangent of x.